Okay.
Opposite angles are equal. Adjacent sides are supplementary, and diagonals bisect each other.
Okay, so these are the properties of a parallelogram. And then next we have the next, Ramesh, you tell me that what is the property for adjacent angles? Like, what is the relationship between adjacent angles?
Two adjacent angles equals 180 degrees.
Yeah, the sum of adjacent angles is 180 degree, or they are supplementary in nature. Okay, now I'll give you both a question to do. The question is, you have this figure. Okay, this angle is 120 degree. This angle is 70 degree. Now you have to find angle X. Okay, I'll just mark this is R, I, S, K, one parallelogram. This is C, E, U, L, the second parallelogram. They are joined in such a manner. Just find the value of X.
I'm not sure how to do these types of questions.
I know, ma'am.
That means at least try the question. In maths, you don't always just see the question and just give up that you don't know how to do it. Just try solving the question. Just try to like analyze at what angles can you relate. At least give it some 1 or 2 minutes. Then only you can say now that you don't know. Try the question. Okay, and Ramesh, what about you?
I'm still trying to do.
6. What are you saying?
Ma'am, is X equals 60?
X equals 60. Okay, Aswan, what have you done?
Ma'am, X is equals to 50.
Okay, how come X equals to 50?
Ma'am, angle E is equals to 70 degree. Opposite angles are equal.
Which angle?
Angle E.
E. Okay, 70 degree.
Ma'am, angle R is equals to 60 degree adjacent angles.
60 degree, okay.
And angle S is also equals to 60 degree.
Okay,
And
then
angle X is equals to 50 degree angle sum property.
60 plus 70 plus X will give you 180. Then X will be equal to 180 minus 130, which is equals to 50 degree. Ramesh, please see the solution. This is how you solve it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, next question we have. Does anybody have any doubts in this question?
No, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Now we have the next question. So this is a figure right here. This angle is 100 degree. This angle is 80 degree. Then you have K, L, M, N. Okay. Now you have to explain that why this figure is a trapezium. What was the property of trapezium that I taught you? What are the properties of trapezium?
Two sides are parallel, other two are not parallel.
in a trapezium, the opposite sides are parallel to each other, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Only one pair of sides are opposite. Now, how come this is a trapezium? How can you say that this is a trapezium?
Ma'am, it's not a trapezium.
Why is this not a trapezium?
Ma'am, because K, N, and MN are not parallel.
Angle M is 100 degree and angle L is 80 degree, right? That means
Yes, ma'am.
100 degree plus 80 degree gives you like angle M plus angle L. If they are equal to 180 degree, that means they are adjacent angles, right? Let's check. Are they equal to 180 degree? 100 degree plus 80 degree should Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if angle M and angle L are equal to 180 degree, that means they are adjacent angles, and we can clearly see that they are equal to one adjacent angle. Right? They are adjacent angles. Now, if they are adjacent angles, that means they are like these lines will be parallel. Okay, now you can calculate like this angle also. This angle will be 80 degree. Now opposite angles are equal. I'm sorry, this will be 100. It's equal to 100 degree and adjacent angles are the sum is 180 degree. That means these two lines are parallel. Hence, this is the parallelogram. Trapezium. In trapezium, only one pair is parallel. Now you have the next question. This is the figure. This angle is 90 degree. You have S, P, R, Q, 130 degree. Okay. Now calculate the rest of the angles.
We have to find angle P and angle S.
You have to find rest of the angles. Basically, P, S, and R. Just write the numbers.
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Okay, what is the answer?
Angle S is equals to 130 degree.
Okay, Ramesh, have you done?
Yeah.
Tell me. How come angle S is 130 degree?
Opposite angle.
Opposite angle. But as if this is not a parallelogram. Okay, this line and this line right here, they are parallel to each other, right? And if this is 90 degree, so this angle and this angle, they are adjacent angles. Okay, so 90 degree plus angle S should be equal to 180 degree. So angle S should be equal to 90 degree, right? Now, if angle S is 90 degree and like angle R is also 90 degree and angle Q is 130 degree, we can use the angle sum property. 90 degree plus 90 degree plus 130 degree plus angle P should give you 360 degree, right? So angle P you can calculate from here. Calculate it.
So how 360 degree?
So it's the angle sum property for a quadrilateral. Sum of all angles is 360 degree.
Okay.
P equals 50.
What are you saying?
P angle P equals 50.
Okay, how come?
180 plus 130. 190 plus 90 equals 180.
Yes, ma'am.
180 plus 130 equals 310. And we
60 minus 180 plus 130, you will do
310.
310. So you get 50 degree. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll give you the next question. Now we have the next topic, which is some special quadrilaterals. Okay, so in some special quadrilaterals, what we do is basically, first of all, you have a rhombus. So in a rhombus, it is like, so what are the properties of rhombus? If this is A, B, C, D, tell me what are the properties of rhombus?
Diagonals are perpendicular to each other.
Just tell me, start from the basic properties, like from the side. All sides are equal,
All sides are equal.
right?
All angles are equal.
AB is equal to BC is equals to CD is equals to AD, right?
All
So
angles are
all
equal.
sides are equal, right? The first property, all sides are equal. Now next we have like all angles. No, all angles are not necessarily equal. There's no property regarding the angles as such. There's a property about diagonals. What is the diagonal property like?
Diagonals are perpendicular bisector to each other.
Yeah, they are perpendicular bisector of each other. Now I'll give you one question. You have a rhombus over here. Okay, this is R, I, C, E, right? Then we have this is O, this is X, this is 5, this is 12, this is Y, and this is 13, this is Z. Okay, now find the values of X, Y, and Z.
Ma'am, you're muted. Ma'am, you're muted.
Done as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have, yes, Aswan, tell me the answers.
Ma'am, angle Z is equals to 13 degree because all sides are equal.
Okay, Z is 13. Then
Ma'am, angle X is equals to 85 degree.
X is equals to
85 degree.
85.
Yes, ma'am.
What is X, Aswan?
What, ma'am?
What is X?
85.
X is a side.
Ma'am, X is 85, right?
I'm saying X is a side, not a degree. How can it be a degree? X is this EO.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
is
X is
X
85. Then,
ma'am is X 5?
Yes, X is 5.
ma'am, Y is 12 degree.
Aslan, how come Y is 32 and X is 85? I don't understand what have you done.
Now, Y is 12 degree.
Yes, Y is 12 degree. A degree? No, not degree, just 12.
Sorry, ma'am, my mistake. Y is 12.
Can I give you the next question? Find X. Okay, just do this question. I'll be just back in a minute. Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. I finished, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Ma'am, you're mute.
Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay, let's continue. So tell me, what's the value for x?
Ma'am, x is equals to 3.
Okay, and Ramiz, you?
I got x equals 1.
Uh, x equals 1. How come? Okay, how have you both calculated the answer?
Ma'am, 3x plus 1 is equals to 2x plus 4.
Okay, so 3x plus 1 is equals to 2x plus 4.
Ma'am, then
Right.
3x
So you will
minus
get x
3x
over here
minus
and 1, 4 minus 1 will be like 3.
3.
So x equals 3. Right? So that is how
Okay,
you will get.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, next question you have is, I don't think we have any more questions from this chapter to revise. Okay, but I shall give you one task. The task is basically that this is like here I'll write the quadrilateral. You have to write the property of that quadrilateral. Okay, I discussed this in the previous class as well. Like when we were discussing this chapter, I discussed this point, but that time I taught you the properties. Now you have to like write the properties. So I'll write the name of the quadrilateral here. Okay. Amar, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Amar, we have just started doing this question. I have written the name of the quadrilateral over here. We have parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, square, and kite. Just quickly write 2 or 3 properties, like whatever the properties you know about these particular quadrilaterals on the right hand side. Okay, you have to do this task. You have 5-7 minutes for this. Just quickly do it.
Okay.
That was
Ma'am, are there more?
Yes, Amar, what are you saying?
Are there more?
Amar, I couldn't understand. What are you saying?
Are there more?
No, there are just 5 of them. Have you done all of them?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start discussing. So first one, Ramesh, start. Ramesh, tell me what are the properties of parallelogram?
Ma'am, opposite angles are equal.
What are you saying, Ramesh?
Opposite angles are equal.
Opposite angles are equal. And
The sum of two adjacent angles are 180.
that's not a property of parallelogram. That basically arises because the opposite sides are parallel. Okay, what is the
Uh,
basic property? First is sides. What about sides? The opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel. And what about angles? The opposite angles are equal. And diagonals, very importantly,
bisect each other.
okay, just bisect or perpendicular bisector?
Bisect.
Yeah,
Bisect.
very just bisector. I taught you in the previous class as well. Now for rhombus, Aswan, tell me.
Ma'am, in a rhombus, all sides are equal.
Yes.
All sides are equal and diagonals are perpendicular bisector.
Okay, so basically, opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are equal. So all the properties of parallelogram and one additional property that diagonals are not just bisector, but they are perpendicular bisector. Okay. Next, tell me.
Ma'am, can I say?
Next, yeah, Marcel, rectangle.
All properties of parallelogram.
Okay, and
Mm,
what about angles?
opposite angles are also equal.
Okay, they are equal, but like in a rectangle, we clearly know the measure of the angle. So what is the measure of the angles in rectangle?
Ma'am,
Ramesh and this one? Yeah, what are you saying, Amar?
180.
180, no, not 180. It's 90 degrees. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, you have diagonals. What about diagonals of a rectangle?
Bisect each other.
Bisect each other.
Okay, and the diagonals are also equal, right? Next,
Yes.
you have square. So for square, Ramesh, again you tell.
All the sides are equal.
Okay.
Then the sides are parallel.
Yes.
All angles. The sum of all angles are 360.
All angles are 90 degrees. So
90.
basically, in a square, we have all the properties of a parallelogram plus rhombus plus rectangle. Okay. So all the properties of parallelogram, rhombus, and rectangle, taken together, they form the properties of square. Next, you
Ma'am,
have kite. Kite with that.
ma'am, I'll be
Yes.
back in a minute. Ma'am, I'll be back in a
Yeah,
minute.
sure. Yeah, sure. So who will tell me about kite?
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes.
Ma'am, can I say?
Two sides are equal.
Let
Diagonals
Ammar say.
perpendicular.
What, ma'am?
Let Ammar say.
Two sides are equal. And diagonals bisect each other.
Okay. And Asan, do you wish to add anything? Aswan, do you wish to add anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, what about diagonals though?
And diagonals are perpendicular bisected.
Okay. Fine. Now next we have, so this was all about the chapter quadrilaterals. Okay. We'll just discuss a few more questions and then we'll move ahead. Okay, so we have first true and false. So for true and false, the first question is, all rectangles are squares. Second is, all rhombus are parallelogram. Third is,
So
all
is it true or false?
squares are rhombus.
Ma'am,
Now
are
we have to
these
say
true or false?
What are you saying?
Are these
Are
true or
these true or
false?
false?
Yes, these are true and false. You have to tell me whether the given statement is true or false. And also rectangle. Okay, first one who will tell me.
Ma'am,
First one false.
The first one is
Ma'am.
false. It's very clearly. All rectangles are not squares because the property of square is that all sides are equal. But in a rectangle, all sides are not equal. Instead, only the opposite sides are. So this is a false statement. Okay. What about the second one?
Second one is true.
Yeah, second one is true. But because all rhombus are parallelogram, yes, because in a rhombus, all the properties of parallelogram are being followed. The opposite sides are parallel, they are equal. Then the angles, they are also like the adjacent angles are supplementary in nature. So all rhombuses are parallelogram. That's a true statement. Next, we have all squares are rhombus and also a rectangle.
True.
True.
True, ma'am.
True.
All squares are rhombus and also rectangle. So true. See what happens. The properties of square. It's basically the property of parallelogram plus rectangle and plus rhombus. I just now told you also in the previous section that we were discussing. See, in a rhombus, we have opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, and all sides are equal. So square also has the same property. In a rectangle, we have all equal and parallel. In a square also we have the same property. In a rectangle we have that all angles are equal to 90 degrees. Similarly, in a square we have the same property. So all square are rhombus and also rectangle. That's a true statement. Right? Next you have all squares are not parallelogram.
False.
False.
Why false?
Because
Because
squares are parallelogram.
Yes, all squares are parallelogram. So this is false statement. Okay, all pipes are rhombus.
false.
I'm sorry.
False, ma'am. All kites are not wrong.
False. False, ma'am.
Next we have all parallelograms are trapeziums.
False.
False.
Why false?
Ma'am, because in a parallelogram, like opposite angles are equal, but trapezium opposite angles are not equal.
Okay. Next we have all squares are trapezium.
False.
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 It's false. Because in a trapezium, only one pair of opposite sides should be parallel, right? But in a
Yes,
square,
ma'am. And
like
in a trapezium,
opposite
there are
pair
And in a trapezium,
Yes,
there are no.
let me speak. Or in a square, both the sides are parallel to each other, but the trapezium, in a trapezium, only one pair of opposite sides should be parallel to each other. Right. Now, next we have, you have to name a quadrilateral. Okay, wait. You have the next question. Explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral.
Because a rectangle is a closed figure and we cannot draw a line outside of the
The
rectangle.
answer.
Not lines in the exterior of the rectangle.
First, form the correct statements, a proper paragraph, a proper answer for this question, and then tell. First, frame a proper answer, all of you. Don't just randomly say anything. Has anybody done? Ammar, Ramesh, and Aswan. Has anybody done?
Ma'am, I wrote only one point. Is it okay?
What's your point? Can you explain your answer?
A rectangle is a convex quadrilateral because it is a closed quadrilateral which we cannot form lines in its exterior when different points are joined.
Okay.
Ma'am, I also wrote
Whenever we are
explanation.
joining the word, okay, read your answer, Aswan.
Ma'am, I wrote that rectangle is also a closed figure in which we cannot draw a line outside the exterior to the rectangle.
Okay. And Ramesh, you?
Both of its diagonals are in the interior.
See, what happens? Yeah, all your answers are correct. Basically, in a rectangle, whenever we try to join any two vertices, like you have these, we have four vertices. So whenever you try to join these two vertices, either you will get the same line, or you're going to get a line which will lie inside to the figure. Like we can draw the diagonals. Okay, none of the line will be found outside the figure. All of the lines are like interior. That is why it is a convex quadrilateral. Next, we have a question. You have to name the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisect each other. Second is are perpendicular bisector of each other. And third is are equal. Okay, this question is about diagonals. Name a quadrilateral whose diagonals first tell me they are bisecting each other, then tell me they are perpendicular bisector of each other,
Ma'am,
and third tell me
quadrilateral,
they are
right?
equal. Yeah, a quadrilateral.
Ma'am, can I say the first one?
Yes.
Ma'am, in the first one, rectangle.
Okay.
Ma'am, we have parallelogram,
Okay.
rhombus,
Numbers. Okay. These are your answers?
no ma'am, no ma'am. In the perpendicular bisector, not parallelogram. In perpendicular bisector, we have square.
What do you have in perpendicular bisector?
90 degree.
What's the quadrilateral? Name the quadrilateral.
Square.
Square. Okay, and equal?